any time in the ArCADia program, you can enter 3D objects. They can be placed inside the project as well as outside the project. We will turn off the lists so that they do not hinder us, and we will enter 3D objects into the interior as furnishing. For this purpose, we turn off a part of the level in the 3D view, leaving the ground floor from which the ceiling will be turned off so that you can see the interior. We will enter objects in the view. 3D objects are located on the System ribbon in the Project Explorer window. They can be extracted from the library individually. It's enough to select the object and double-click it. Select location and rotation angle. In this way, you can arrange the whole interior. Three-dimensional objects can be imported into the program using 3ds, ACO, and O2C files, thus expanding your own library. You can also save your own objects, for example created in the option Solids or Create Groups of Elements, that you can use in each subsequent project. These can be, for example, furniture sets that we can use in subsequent projects. We enter such systems analogously and to individual 3D elements. If we save such a grouping to the library, then, when using it in subsequent projects, if it does not exactly fit into the place where we would like to insert it, it can be broken apart. These groupings can also be rotated, copied, inverted as mirror reflections. This breaking apart will separate the grouping into individual elements that can be edited separately. Move, rotate, copy, do whatever is needed in a given project. Textures are changed in elements. Firstly, we will change the texture of the floor. We select the table of the room. From the editing window, we choose the floor surface. We're looking for a texture or the material from the library. The material is available under the yellow icon. After clicking the brick icon, the texture can be loaded, for example, as a PNG file from any place from the computer, although it should be remembered that the location of the loaded texture can never be changed. We act in a similar way while texturing, for example, elevations. But before we can get to that, we'll change the texture on the solids that create stairs and the terrace in the project. The upper surface will be textured with some slabs. The same texture we give to the surface of the slipway. As for the elevation, after selecting the wall, we can define which edge and how it is textured. But for this, we have to go to the view and see in which direction the wall is drawn. Following the direction of the arrow, we can recognize if we will be texturing the left or the right side of the wall. We can define a texture on the main view or the 3D view. For the selected wall, we enter the texture on the right side. The entire wall is textured, so if we would only want to texture part of the wall, then we have to divide it. We make such modifications on the view. Let's check if the walls are available for editing. We select such a wall and choose Split Wall from the insertion window. We indicate the dividing line. The same is done with subsequent walls, on which we will also enter different textures sequentially. If we have divided walls, we can, on the 3D view or the main view, whichever is easier for us, we mark those walls that are to be textured in the same way and change their texture. We can also, for example, rotate the texture by 90 degrees so that the panels will be vertical, not horizontal. We proceed in the same manner with the next walls, remembering that modifying several walls at once is possible only if the walls are drawn in the same direction. After switching to the next level, wall texturing is done in the same way. we turn on the visibility of all floors and roofs. We change textures on the roof and on the terrain in a similar way.